And we're live. What's up, everyone? Thanks for checking out the video. I was trying to to make some content today, but I had so many issues. Yesterday, I was playing Resident Evil Village, which doesn't have, DLSS transformer model, nothing. So I thought the driver issue had to do with the way I was forcing the new DLSS transformer model. Because I'm using the Nvidia inspector profile, then the driver is supporting it. So maybe there's a conflict or something. This game doesn't have doesn't have that, and I was still having issues. So my problem is I can use the previous drivers. So the drivers before the DLSS transformer model. That's the 5. Let me look at the list here. That's the driver 56636. So those are the drivers that work well for me. However, I was going, I was going nuts, like searching online what's going on with my monitor. And I was about to make a video just showing you, hey, I'm having issues with these monitors because I am checking it out for review. But my review is ongoing and never ending because I'm actually using the monitor. And I was about to make a video and tell you, hey, this monitor has issues with VRR flickering at 360 hertz because I was playing Resident Evil Village, which is horror game, very dark. And usually VRR flickering issues are more visible in the darkness. But here's the thing. I am getting over 300 frames per second with the settings I'm using. The game looks amazing. It runs very well. Without DLSS, with no frame generation, it's a very well optimized game in my opinion. So I get a very consistent frame time. And even if I locked the frame rate and I see a rock solid line, I was getting flickering. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Let me turn off VRR. And I was still getting flickering. I'm like, so this is not even VRR flickering. What's going on? Is this monitor, does it have an issue at 360 hertz? What's going on? I even message the display guy to see if he knew about this. I recently did, so he has not answered that yet. So I'm like, maybe this is a known issue. Then I search, and there's someone else that was complaining about the same issue with this monitor, and I'm like, oh man, it is the monitor. So let me wait and see what the display guy says. But then someone tells me here on the channel, hey, the latest Nvidia drivers, which is the 57242, the blue screen issues that you were having, I was having that too. That's fixed. Like, I'm not having any more blue screens. I'm like, okay, let me update the drivers. So then I update the drivers, and the flickering issue of the monitor goes away. Like, I don't have any flickering issues. So I'm like, okay, it's not the monitor. Okay, it's the drivers. But then I get blue screens again. So I'm like, right now there is nothing I can do to have no issues, because of course I could roll back the drivers to before the 56603, but I'm not sure if the DLSS transformer model is gonna work with the older driver. So I wanted to use at least the 56636, which is the one I was using to force the DLSS transformer model. But I was having the flickering issues with that. So yeah, it's kind of a mess right now. I'm like, and it's not only on that game. I'm talking about, for example, when I use RetroArch, I was gonna make a video about the CRT simulation with this 360 hertz QD OLED. because it's amazing. But I'm getting that flickering issue. And then with the newest driver, I don't get the flickering issue, but then RetroArch is crashing, blue screens, and my PC is restarting. So I'm like, man, what's going on? Let me make a live stream and see what you're experiencing. Maybe I'm not the only one, but it is definitely the Nvidia drivers, because when I got the blue screen with RetroArch, the PC restarted and I got an Nvidia notification asking me, do you want to report, the crash to Nvidia for, improvements for the drivers and all that stuff. So it was the GPU drivers. I mean, Nvidia, realized that the thing realized that it restarted because of the drivers. So it's asking me if I want to report it. So it is definitely the GPU drivers. I don't think my GPU is broken. Well, yeah, let me see what you guys are experiencing. If you have any issues, how's it going, Ben? Yeah, blue screens on HDR, they are very bright. How are you doing, Rufus? Finally. Yeah, I'm doing live streams very frequently, so if you don't catch one, you can get the other one. I am on 572.16, so that is the previous ones. So the latest drivers right now are the 572.42. Okay, with the 572.16, I was getting the blue screens. That's when I did the live stream cleaning the PC, because I thought, oh, maybe my PC is dirty, so I'm gonna clean my way out of the issues. Maybe the RAM, sometimes in the past, many years ago, I used to clean the RAM with an eraser, and that fixed all the PC problems sometimes. And I thought, oh, well, maybe that's the issue. And I did a live stream cleaning the PC. That didn't solve the issue. So that's the drivers where the blue screen started. But after that, 572.42, I still have the blue screens, and I think even more often. Like, I'm getting even more restarts. Then it's saying games keep crashing. The screen keeps blanking out. Was all fine before the update. So you're also having issues. Yeah, I see it online. Some people are also complaining. So FK says, did you already give up trying to get a 5090? No, wait, I'm gonna get the 5090. But I was gonna make a video with RetroArch. Let me tell you, man, the CRT simulation is so incredible. Now that I can try it with this 360 hertz monitor, actually with my camera, it looks beautiful. I'm gonna show you with my camera when I increase the shutter speed like crazy, like my camera, I think can do 1/8,000 or 10,000, I forgot. You can see the CRT simulation. Like, of course, it's not like a super slow motion video. It will be even better. But the shutter speed shows you how I am getting 6x the motion clarity. So you have 60 FPS only, and the CRT simulation is improving the motion clarity 6x. So that is 60 FPS, and it looks up to like 360. And the thing is, it doesn't flicker. Like, I don't see weird flickering now. It doesn't look great with the videos for some reason. The RetroArch with the video and the CRT simulation, it doesn't look perfect. But when I open a game, I have Sonic 1 and 2, and it works perfect there. Man, it is so incredible. I don't see annoying flickering. And the motion is like 360. I just 60 FPS. So the thing is, that is so exciting to me. I was gonna be like, okay, let me do a video, and I'm so hyped about the CRT simulation that if it was working right now on my PC on every single game with this monitor, I would actually rethink getting that 5090 because I can actually take advantage of this monitor like right now. With CRT simulation, I can get this motion clarity on every single game, just 60 FPS. I mean, that's easy. Even 1440p. It's like a piece of cake for my GPU. So I would be so happy if we could have this right now. We will get it. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna be glorious. Let me tell you, absolutely amazing. So I'm definitely going to make that video because not even with my, not even with your eyes, you can actually see what my camera is gonna show you. It's beautiful because you can see. You see, the CRT simulation is basically at 360 FPS, and I'm jumping off topic. Let me finish the idea here. At 60 FPS, if you have a 360 hertz display, the CRT simulation, from my understanding, is creating 6 different versions of each frame. And you can see with the camera settings, you can see a black bar starting at the bottom. Of course, that's not the way it actually happens, but this is the way it looks on camera. You see a black bar starting at the bottom, like a section that is 1 divided by 6 of the entire screen. Then you see another one popping, another one, then another one. So 6 of them. You see 6. You see how that black bar is going up 6 times. So it's basically going from 60 FPS up to 360 like in motion. It's just beautiful, man. The way it looks on camera, I'm gonna show you that in a video. It looks so clear. My God. And it doesn't flicker that much. So this would be better motion than my LG C1 at 120 with OLED Motion Pro High. So that would be fantastic. So I cannot wait for that. But yeah, 5090, I'm still gonna get it. Because of course it is better to get higher frame rate sample and hold. It's gonna look better. You have full brightness. You don't need to lose brightness to get the motion clarity. But I have to say that this, of course, these Nintendo games, these old Sega games and RetroArch, they are very, very bright because they are solid colors, especially with QD OLED. So it looks bright enough, but it's not the same if you play a AAA game. So I will have to wait to see an actual game, the ones that I played with the CRT simulation, but it's gonna be glorious, I think. So Benny's saying, I had blue screens on Star Citizen yesterday, and I had flickering too. That's what I'm saying. Like, why? Like, I never had an issue with this GPU, with this PC, with Nvidia drivers. I never had an issue. I mean, it has been flawless until now. And I was so excited with the new DLSS transformer model. I make a video and just glazing Nvidia. This is so amazing. Thank you very much. And it is. But yeah, there's something that's causing issue there. There's something terribly wrong with that. So yeah, they have to figure out what's going on. Wait, transformer model, you got a 5090. So you can use the DLSS transformer model with all RTX GPUs. That's why I was so excited. So excited about it. It's fantastic. I got the same issue on the 5090, flickering on the desktop. Wow. Well, thanks for sharing that. It is crazy. I don't know what's going on with it. I have not updated the Nvidia app yet, and everything works perfectly. I will not update at any time soon. At some point, it will be forced, obviously. Yeah, I would recommend you to if you're not playing one of these latest games coming out right now, just don't update the drivers. But if you want to try the new DLSS transformer model, yeah, I think it's worth it. It's actually absolutely amazing. But yeah, you might get some crashes. I'm using the newer driver modded with NV clean install. No problem so far. Removed all bloatware and using transformer model preset K in games. Let me try that in Nvidia. I use the DDU program to erase the drivers. To uninstall the drivers, I use the DDU display driver utility, something like that. The program that I shared on the Spider-Man video, but I have not tried the. Let me check that out. MV clean install. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out to see if that fixes the problem. I will try that when we finish. It's available to download from Tech Power Up. So I will try that out. So thanks for sharing that. Yeah, the new DLSS transformer model, just absolutely amazing. Just looks incredible. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I have the 3080, 12 gigabytes, the Asus stuff. Something caused by the new Nvidia app. Yeah, maybe it is the new Nvidia app. Because here's the thing. When I roll back the drivers, the Nvidia app still gets updated to the latest version. So what happens is I'm using the 566 driver version, the 56636, but the Nvidia app is using the latest update. And when you go to the game settings inside the Nvidia app, you see the new DLSS transformer model. You see the new DLSS swapper to override the DLSS, but it's actually not working. It is like grayed out. So maybe that is causing a conflict. So I was thinking, oh, maybe it's that, and maybe it's the overlay. Maybe the combination of the new Nvidia app with the older drivers and the overlay, that's what was giving me the flickering. But yeah, I thought it was the monitor. That's why I didn't even test that. But I'm glad I didn't make that video. Imagine me bashing the monitor for the Nvidia drivers. Not bashing it, but calling out some issues. And it's not the monitor, it's the Nvidia drivers. Turning off VRR via monitor or disabling G-Sync. Yeah, I did that, and I was still getting flickering, which is crazy. So I was like, okay, this is not even VRR flickering. What's going on? I mean, frame time perfect, frame rate very high, no problems, no fluctuations, VRR off. Why am I getting flickering here? There's something terribly wrong. I always get confused whether or not I should enable VRR via Windows when G-Sync is enabled via Nvidia software. Enable VRR via Windows when G-Sync is enabled via Nvidia software. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Like, I don't. If you go to display settings, I don't know. If there's a way to enable VRR here, I don't know. I don't remember that. I always enable VRR through the Nvidia control panel. Yeah, the drivers for Nvidia made my OLED monitor not flicker constantly. Yeah, there's something. Yeah, Jensen has a solution for you. Yeah, just a $10,000 command center. That's the solution. I never have G-Sync enabled. I rarely notice tearing, etc. if at all. Well, actually, I tried that today. I also was trying to run some games that run very fast, like Rocket League, and the issue with the drivers that I had no crashes, the 566 drivers, is that even when my GPU was like at 50% in Rocket League, it's not demanding at all, and CPU shouldn't be a bottleneck either on that game. I couldn't get 360 FPS solid. It was like 357, 358, and it goes down. And I'm like, why? Why am I not able to lock the frame rate? And it's the driver issue. With the new drivers, I can. So I was getting, judder and some screen tearing if I turn off VRR. So yeah, there's something terribly wrong. I don't know what's going on with that. Again, if I lower so basically what I did to play yesterday was I turn off DSC on the monitor, so 240 hertz. Then I was using VRR, and I locked the FPS to like 220, I think it was, if I remember. And that was looking perfect, like no flickering, nothing. So I was thinking, oh, maybe it is the monitor. Maybe it is a problem with DSC that's causing the issue for some reason. So when I turn it off, then I no longer see the problem. So yeah, it was driving me nuts. I'm like, what's going on here? I don't understand. I have to do a bunch of workarounds since I am using an older FreeSync monitor with an Nvidia card. I don't think that's a problem. This monitor doesn't have G-Sync. It's not G-Sync certified. When I go to the menu here, it says FreeSync Premium Pro. That's what it has. So I don't think that there should be a problem. When it works, it is so good. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe that's a flickering issue I'm having. Of course, an issue with the drivers, but that's maybe why. I already tried CRT simulation at 480 hertz. It is incredible. Man, I'm blown away. And this game Sonic, you don't even have to play it. You just open it and it just starts like a demo. So when you see everything running very fast with very good gameplay, so you can just focus and you don't have to actually play the game. You can just look at it. And I'm like, wow, it doesn't, I don't see flickering. It is reporting 360 FPS. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's the game running at 360 FPS because this is so bright and so clear. But when I point my camera, I see that the CRT simulation is working. And of course, I go to the settings and I have the CRT simulation shader enabled. And when I change the settings on the CRT simulation, the brightness settings, I get it darker or brighter depending on those settings. So it is working. And it's so good that I was wondering, if this is even working at all. It is that good because it's bright and it is so clear. And I don't see flickering. It's just incredible. It's just 60 FPS. Wow. That is just amazing, man. I'm definitely gonna make a video about it. Jensen has a solution for you. Just buy a 5090 and put it on your $10,000 command center. No more drivers problem. Of course. That's just the way to go. I switched to the update before this latest ones. I switched to the up. So I guess you switched off the updates. Marat TV says, do you still have a warranty on your GPU? I don't think so. This GPU is like almost 3 years old. I don't think I have a warranty. It could be a GPU. It could be that I'm having an issue with the GPU. I don't think so, because I mean the games with the previous drivers, I don't get any blue screens, no crashes. The only issue I have is the flickering. So clearly, the blue screens and the crashes are because of the drivers, not because of the GPU. And with the new drivers, I don't get the flickering. So clearly the flickering is not the monitor, it's not the GPU, it's the drivers. So at the end, it is the drivers. That's my thought process. But yeah, I thought about that. Man, is this GPU broken? Like, yeah, it's out of warranty. I got two of my friends to buy themselves that 360 QD OLED. They love it. Nice. I mean, the thing is, you cannot go wrong with high refresh OLED. It's just fantastic. I mean, I asked for this monitor. I asked for a high refresh rate OLED monitor because I knew it was gonna be awesome. There's no way, unless it is broken, like it has some broken calibration. It's just terribly wrong and settings are just messed up. The technology itself, it's just so good. I mean, you cannot go wrong. It doesn't matter which model you buy, really. But yeah, I mean, so far I'm blown away. I'm just absolutely blown away, and that is without even being able to fully utilize this monitor. 360 FPS on this QD OLED monitor. It is a surreal experience because I feel like I am using my C1 with 120 OLED Motion Pro, but it looks even better. And I have full brightness. So it is like I'm getting HDR and it looks like I am using a strobing at the same time. But yeah, it is very demanding to get 360 FPS. So that's why we definitely need, in the meantime, we need that CRT simulation. And of course, 50 series GPUs with multiple frame generations should definitely be able to get us up there. But with frame generation, I want to see how bad are the artifacts. I think it's gonna be okay. The input lag, I don't know. I want to try it. That's why I want to get that 5090 so bad. But yeah, man, I'm happy for your friends. I mean, you cannot go wrong with this. Now, I'm going to get, hopefully soon, a 240 hertz 4K 27-inch QD OLED monitor. And it is actually using the latest Samsung panel, which has the 5-stack cake in the back. So it is more efficient and all of that. The thing is, it's not brighter. It seems like because it's 4K, it is more difficult to get it brighter. So what they did was to at least make it as bright as it was before with 1440p. But it is definitely disappointing that with the latest panel, they cannot get it significantly brighter than this one that I have. So once I put those two side by side, when it comes to HDR, they should be very similar. But yeah, 4K on a 27-inch screen. I want to see that. But I would definitely prefer a bigger, for 4K, I would prefer a bigger screen size. But 1440p on this one, especially if you just want to get 300 plus frames, it makes more sense. And it looks, with the new DLSS transformer model, it looks great. And yeah, motion and input lag, it's just absolutely incredible. For those games that run fast, that's what I was installing today. Like I installed Fortnite, I installed, I have not opened Fortnite yet. I installed Rocket League, I installed Marvel Rivals, which I did try, and it doesn't run that fast. I can get more than 200 frames, but I have to lower the settings and stuff. It doesn't run very fast. But yeah, that's what I was doing today, trying to install these competitive games. I have to try Valorant. which runs very fast too. But yeah, it is such a great experience, man. I'm on the latest drivers using an EVGA. Rest in peace, EVGA. No issues, man. My previous 1050 Ti was an EVGA 1050 Ti. Never had an issue with that GPU. So you have no issues with your 3080. Thanks for sharing that. I have no issues on the latest drivers. Previous one was crashing my PC. Okay. So you were getting crashes with the previous one like me, but the latest one, yeah, that's what someone told me. Latest drivers, no issues. I think it was you, actually. It was you told me the latest drivers solved the issue. Well, I'm still getting crashes. I just installed them again right before I start this live stream. So I have not tested again. I use the DDU app to remove the drivers again and then install it clean again. But I will try the MV Cleaner. Enable the system administrator account with CDM. Disable memory integrity. Uninstall and reinstall the drivers under the system administration account. Okay, let me take a screenshot of this one. I'll give that a try. Thanks for that. I'll give that a try. CRT simulation mixed with backlight strobing. No, it doesn't work. I get CRT levels of motion on a cheap TN monitor when I mix both. No, it doesn't work. The Blur Buster chief, commented on that, and you either use one or the other. So for the CRT simulation, you need just sample on hold, because basically what's happening is the flickering is created with the CRT simulation, so you don't want to add flickering to that. It's not going to. It shouldn't improve anything. But yeah, I mean, you can try it and see, compare that. But the chief said that doesn't work. My 5080 running great, but my 5700 X3D is a huge bottleneck in FPS games and some game engines. Okay, so you got your 5080, you're getting a bottleneck. Here's the thing. CPU bottleneck is there, and almost every single game now. That's why we need frame generation. If you really want to push those 240 plus or even 240 frames, we need MFG. That's why Nvidia created that. One of the biggest reasons. We now have the high refresh monitors, and CPU bottleneck is definitely an issue. So I think that's a great combo. 5080, 5700 X3D. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna get a new CPU, new motherboard, new RAM. It's a lot of more money, and the difference is gonna be maybe 25%, 30% more performance. You can get that 30% more performance sometimes by lowering the in-game settings, especially ray tracing. Just turn that off. It's gonna be a lot easier for the CPU. So I think that should be okay, man. Bottleneck is gonna happen. I mean, you look at the latest Spider-Man, very CPU heavy. Even with the 9800 X3D, it's CPU bound very fast. Oh, you mean that blue screen? I didn't get that. My game actually had no blue filter though, with flickering. Yeah, the blue screens I'm referring to is like the blue screen of death. You get your PC restarted with that. I don't remember ever having that issue with this PC, man. I have a 5800 X3D. That's my CPU. One time I used BFI on a CRT monitor. It was insane. Yeah, it shouldn't work. The flickering should be, they are going to be like out of sync. They shouldn't improve anything. How's it going, Asher? 4x frame gen is what? Water is dog water, even at 120 FPS, 4x. Yeah, I have to say I'm very disappointed with frame generation, specifically with lossless scaling, because I thought that having a much higher base frame rate was going to reduce the artifacts significantly. And the artifacts are very bad with 4x. Of course, the Nvidia frame gen is going to be better because it has access to the motion vectors and is AI predicting the future level of technology. So I really want to try, but I might not like it, because the thing is, once you get more than 200 frames, the responsiveness is so great, the motion is already good enough. So then you want to use frame gen, your base frame rate is going to go down significantly to then go and multiply. If it doesn't look great, it might not be worth it. So what I've seen from testing this 360 hertz monitor is that after 200 frames, especially 240, I think it is the sweet spot. So 240 frames, sample on hold, and an OLED, I think is the sweet spot. What I mean by that is, I think everyone is going to notice that difference. From 120 to 240, the clarity on the motion, it is very significant. And maybe some people would not appreciate more than that. So even if they could get more than 240 frames, I think they might prefer to increase the graphics, the lighting, the shadows, the resolution, rather than just keep getting higher and higher frame rate, because they might not appreciate the increase in motion and the input lag. But I do appreciate the higher frame rate. And I was thinking making a video about it, because I think it would be a great idea for developers to understand their target. So the frame rate, the performance that they are targeting on the consoles or on the PC, depending on their vision, whatever. It should be great if they really want to fine-tune their games to look the best in motion. What I mean by that is, for example, I was playing Resident Evil Village. When I move the camera with the analog, if you go all the way to the right or to the left, the speed is not very fast. When you're moving the camera, the speed is not very fast. So if 240 FPS at that speed has like 2 pixels of motion blur, that's the sweet spot. And getting a higher frame rate is not going to improve anything really. So think about this. You open the UFO test, you change the speed to 240 pixels per second. Okay, that's very slow. Even on a 1440p screen, the UFO test is taking a very long time to go from left to right. So that's 1 pixel of motion blur. Now, if you increase the speed to 480 pixels per second, then that's not that slow. That's not very, very slow. For example, on a 4K screen, that would take 8 seconds to go from left to right. So it would take 4 seconds at 1000, you have 4000 pixels, 1000 pixels per second, you have 4 seconds. If you cut the speed in half, then it's going to take double the time. So it'll be 8 seconds. So imagine you have a game that the speed of the camera, when you move the camera, is that speed. So you have 2 pixels of motion blur when you're moving at that speed on a 240 hertz display. I think that would be a great idea, because basically you would not need more than that. If you get it more, yes, it's gonna look a little bit more clear with 1 pixel of motion blur if you get 480. But a lot of people are not going to appreciate that. And the games have still some issues with motion, with upscaling and all of that. So it's gonna be fine. And then you can increase the graphics and all of that. So I think that will be a very good target for these developers, for the PC, when they release the PC system requirements, to say, okay, if you have a 5080, not even a 5080, if you have a 4080 Super or something like that, you can get 240 frames per second at 4K with DLSS balance, or even performance, something like that. Now with the transformer model, performance is kind of okay. 240 frames per second is very high. Without frame generation, just the upscaling. If they target that kind of performance, and then they change the camera settings, they fine-tune the camera settings, so when you move with your controller, it doesn't go that fast. It goes as fast as you would see 2 pixels of motion blur. I think that would be perfect, because you are releasing a PC system requirements for an experience that looks awesome in motion. Of course, if you use a mouse and then you do, then that goes out the window. But for those games that play better with a controller, they are not competitive games. Of course, we are not going to implement this idea on a competitive game, because you actually want to go very fast you want to pan the camera as fast as possible to get your kills. But for a game like a Resident Evil Village, like a horror game or something like that, I think it's a great idea to think about that. So yeah, which is something I want to throw out there. 16 times the detail. Okay, but yeah, with the CRT simulation, I was getting 6 times the detail. So that is great. Ariel, I hang out in a Discord group that does nothing but hunt for 5090s all day. If I run across a 5090, do you want me to get it for you? Bro, what are we talking about? Of course. Now here's the thing. You buy the 5090. Now what I'm thinking is the warranty, like how, because you buy the 5090s that have, you know, you have to show the receipt that you bought it and stuff. So, but yeah, man, yeah, we'll figure that out. Absolutely. You get a 5090, I will buy it. I will buy it. Now here's the thing, you know, send me an email. Let me drop my email in the chat here. Let's see if I can write a comment. Send me an email, because I'm not paying $3,000 for a 5090. So, and don't buy a bundle, none of that, because I'm not gonna. I will max out at 2,500. Okay, more than 2,500, I cannot pay. Of course, plus taxes. 2,500 for the 59, 2,550. It's okay. But more than that, I cannot do. Let me post a comment here. I'm gonna post my email. Okay, here it is. Yeah, that's my email. So yeah, let me know. You'll figure it out. Yeah, I really want a 1590, bro. Well, we got a lot of comments. I'm way behind. So let me. I wish Plasma would dog. Frog Boy X1 Gaming's AMD Sloan Rider. I don't know what you're talking about. Frog Boy X1. I don't know what that is. Tell me more about it. Yeah, 2,500 plus tax. 2,550 is okay. I mean, the day I did the camping for the 5090, the model that they had available was the gigabyte Aorus ICE, and it was $25.50. I would be so happy if I can buy that GPU because it looks amazing. It just looks amazing. It's white. The fans and the front of the car looks amazing, and then it has the extra fourth fan to put on the back. That GPU looks sick. Of course, that extra fan does nothing for the performance. It's just a gimmick. I saw the benchmarks, but it looks cool. You're paying that money. You want it to be big and heavy and all that stuff. So yeah, $25.50 would be like the absolute maximum I would pay for a 5090, and that's crazy already. I mean, like over $500 over MSRP. That's crazy. You don't get more frames, that many more frames. So yeah, it is absolutely insane. Yeah, AMD. I saw the news. I forgot. It's like $800. Well, I saw I do remember the 5070 Ti. There's like no MSRP GPU. It's like $900. The only MSRP GPU was the PNY, $750 PNY. That was the only MSRP 5070 Ti at Micro Center. I was thinking going to Micro Center for the camping experience, but I'm not gonna camp if I'm not gonna buy a GPU. So yeah, I'm not gonna do it. So these QD OLEDs have no calibration controls. We have an app, so I share the settings I use on that app, but the only thing you can do is maybe an ICC profile. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to calibrate. But what I do is to make sure that I'm not crushing blacks on the monitor. So with the settings I share, we get all the shadow detail, and it's actually absolutely perfect when I compare that with my S90D. And I was playing yesterday Resident Evil Village, and the shadow detail was just absolutely perfect. But I was using Reshade to fix the near black, because Resident Evil Village is actually crushing blacks because it needs that transformation. So yeah, I think I might show the settings in one of these videos, because I don't think most people are gonna be playing the HDR run on that game, but it's an old game, so most people already played it. But yeah, I was getting perfect shadow detail. So you say Frog Boy is a big time AMD delusional fine boy. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, you get the best you can. Some people say, oh, 5090 is stupid, it's too much money, Nvidia is bad, and all that stuff. The thing is, what every single gamer wants is the best GPU. It's that simple. Now, some people are fortunate enough to be able to afford it. For myself, I've never been able to afford a GPU that expensive, but right now, at this point, I can actually do it. So I'm excited because I can actually buy the 5090. So I will, as soon as I can. I get it. It's just crazy to pay that much money, but you want the best. Everyone wants the best. So it is not a matter of being a fanboy of AMD or Nvidia. Everyone wants the best, and the best is Nvidia. AMD is not even competing at the high end. So if they both had a similar level of GPU, then we can talk about, no, I'm a fan of AMD, so I'm gonna buy AMD. At this point, there's no I'm a fan of AMD. Nvidia is the best. You want the best, you have to buy Nvidia if you can. That's how it works. Ariel's from Cuba, man. That's too hard to understand. Yeah, QA is impossible to understand. I had to pay $1,900 for a Strix 4090. That was a great price. I mean, you got a steal of a deal with that GPU. The best investment based on Jensen's. That's the best investment of your life, probably. So yeah. So you call everyone Nvidia bros. Yeah, I'm an Nvidia glazer, supposedly. I'm just joking with those videos. Some people take it too seriously. I'm just having fun. I just enjoy the Jensen's presentation so much. That's why I did those videos, because I enjoy doing it. See, I watch the video myself and I'm laughing. So that's why. But I don't really care about the brands. If AMD comes with a more powerful GPU that looks better, have better upscaling, it has CRT simulation. See, and AMD actually, there was an X Twitter post or something like that that the Blurbuster chief was in contact with AMD about the CRT simulation. I don't know if that's true. I have not asked the Blurbuster chief about it. I could. I do have his email. But if that's true and AMD actually implements the CRT simulation, that would be amazing. And that would be a reason to buy AMD. But hopefully the CRT simulation comes for everybody. Actually, I jump a lot of comments. I'll go back. On 60 FPS, not everyone can take that though. It depends on your tolerance. Yeah, but the thing is, with the CRT simulation, you can change we should be able to change the target. It could be 60, 70, 80, 90, depending on the person. And you can tweak the motion clarity to brightness balance. So if you want it more clear, or if you prefer it to be brighter, you can tweak that. So that's why. I mean, you can always, if you have a good display, of course, you can always make it, look perfect for you based on what you're looking for. You still have a 1080 in your second PC and it works perfectly. Still overclocked since day one. Yeah, 1080 can still play. Definitely. My motherboard can support more GPU than a 1070. Yeah, I mean, I had a 1050 Ti before I got the 3080. So don't get gigabyte cards. They're bad. I mean, at this point, I'll get any 5090 I can. My preference for a 5090 would be the Asus TUF, because I want two HDMI outputs, because I want to have TVs side by side and all of that. So, Asus is the only 5090 or in general, the only GPU that has that. I don't know why. It is so. I mean, why not? I don't know why Asus is the only GPU that is offering two HDMI outputs, but that's why I want the Asus. And I do have the Asus TUF right now, and the build quality is very good. It's all metal. It has military grade capacitors, so it should be pretty good. So I guess the 5090 is just gonna be even better. I hate AMD. Yeah, some people like it, some people. Depends if you had a good experience with it or a bad one. It will be just like CRT strobing level at 60 frames per second. Yeah, not even as good. But the thing is, you can trade the flickering for more brightness, and you can fine tune it so you like it. That's why I'm excited about it. It's not something like it's fixed and you get what you get. You should be able to adjust it. My 4070 turned out to be such a great value at day of purchase. I had a lot of buyer's remorse, but upgrading from a 2060, I'm glad for having made the jump when the car was new. Value is relative. Yeah. I mean, even my friend, I got a 4080 Super right before the new GPUs launch, I was like, man, that was such a bad decision. You should have just waited. But now, in hindsight, perfectly fine, because the new GPU is more money for more performance, so it's fine. To be honest, if the 9070 XT isn't $500, it's dead on arrival. Yeah, it needs to be a lot cheaper. That's for sure. AMD needs to be a lot cheaper than that. Yeah. Oh, you got your 5090 shipping this Friday? Congratulations. Enjoy your 5090, bro. Let us know if it can actually predict the future. Okay, let's go. Man, happy for you. Man, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get my 5090. Okay. Man. I can already see it. I can already see the moment when I slap that power on my PC. It's gonna be glorious. They need to stop producing all GPUs with a faulty 12 beam. 12. Yeah, it's not gonna happen, because that would be like accepting, that they messed it up big time. I don't think it will happen. They could, because they are not in the mass production phase yet. But I think it would be. I don't see that happening. Later, but maybe what we can do is to get that tool that their Bauer has, this tool to measure each cable, and he does this. He clamps. He doesn't even have to touch the cable. He just does this, and then he can check. So maybe we can get one of those tools, and we separate all the cables, and we check if there's one cable that's significantly hotter. But yeah, this tool is probably as expensive as the 5090. So latest driver on my 5090 only had issues with display port 2.1. My power sensor doesn't go above 300 watts, but still runs full clocks and performance confirmed by 3D Mark. Wow, so you don't see more than 300 watts in the hardware info, or afterburner, none of these tools. So the sensor is not measuring more than 300 watts. Interesting. I do have a backup power supply, an APC, that has it's measuring how much power it is using on the ports, so I can know the total of my PC. So then I can calculate, even if let's say my 5090 has the same issue, I could subtract the CPU and the rest of the PC and get an estimation of how much power it's using. But yeah, that's still kind of messed up. The thing is, at this moment, you're not gonna ask for a replacement for your 5090, because there might not be any replacement, or you might have to wait a very long time. So yeah, if it's working, you have no issues, I mean, congratulations on your 1590, man. I don't think Nvidia is too stubborn. They didn't even say anything about this drama. It is quite sad. Yeah, these GPU drivers having issues, it's everywhere on the internet. Like, I'm not the only one talking about it. They with the latest drivers, I thought they were gonna fix that. It's not fixed. So yeah, they have to figure it out. What's going on? Hopefully the next ones will be good. I just need to figure out what's going on with the drivers that are working. Why am I getting that flickering? If I can fix that, then I'll be happy for a while with the older drivers. But I'm getting that flickering issue, and that's not letting me use my monitor well. It's kind of messed up. And AMD has to be the cheap brand now. I know they are. They have no business commanding Nvidia prices when they don't compete anymore. Yeah, it is really, really a big disappointment that AMD is not even trying. It's just I have more confidence on Intel because they are bringing up the value. Maybe they can start making some money and then go for the high end. Can predict my wallet being lighter. I will. Still, you getting one won't take long, and I got extremely lucky, man. Yeah, we have to be very lucky. Yeah, 300 watts max on Riva Turner was weird. Still trying to figure out why this is the case. Yeah, that's very weird, man. What I would definitely do on my 5090 is touch the cables to see if there's one that's significantly hotter. Yeah, power socket, it sucks. They messed it up. We're gonna get a new PSU, otherwise it's 5090. Gonna have multiple frame generation. Yeah, I'm gonna get a new power supply. At this point, I'm not joking around with that 5090, especially with all the issues. Yeah, I'm getting at least a 1200 watts power supply. Not worry about it. With the latest, tech for the 5090. So yeah, I'm getting a good one. For your problem, so the old drivers are perfect with no issues. They do have issues. That's the problem. The old drivers, I have no blue screens, no restarts, but I'm getting this weird flickering. So I thought the monitor had a problem. So the monitor is fine. So the new drivers, I have no flickering, but then I'm getting the blue screens. So if all your drivers are problematic, then you should look into RAM testing, test individual sticks, and run mem test. Yeah, I've done that mem test before. I'll try it. I have to use a USB drive to boot from the RAM and all of that. I will do that RAM benchmark I did at the beginning because my RAM is 3600 CL16, so that's kind of max out for the AM4 for my X570 motherboard. So maybe that could be unstable for some reason. I will try that's a good recommendation. I'm gonna try that to see if that's the problem. Yeah, I never had any problems before. Yeah, that tools was interesting. I saw that video. Yeah, very expensive. I am from Cuba. Hablo español. Español es mi lengua nativa. Check for hot cables. Right, though. Don't just run it full for a long time. Isn't this a GPU BIOS problem? Well, you know what I can do? Maybe my GPU has a dual BIOS. Maybe I can try changing it to the silent BIOS. That's not a bad idea. I can try that. And maybe if I don't get the blue screens with the latest drivers, maybe I can look into updating the BIOS of my GPU. Maybe there is an update for that. That's not a bad idea. That is not a bad idea. Yeah. I wanted the Asus Astral 5080. Man, that's the GPU. So basically, the second day when I was waiting, I waited in total 28 hours for the 5090. So the second day I was waiting outside, and then the manager knows. So I appreciate what he did because he sent one of his sales rep with a 5080 Astro outside. And he told me that there was someone that was supposed to pick up that GPU. And he said, you can buy this GPU before 3 p.m. So you have until 3 p.m. if you want to buy this GPU. So you can buy it right now. You want it? It was $1,500. So I'm like, no, man. I want my 5090. But now, rethinking that moment, man, maybe that was not such a terrible idea. But yeah, $1,500 for a 5080 is not a good deal at all, man. That's just like 50% more money. That is crazy, absolutely crazy. And then the thing is, right before he showed me the 5080, I finished watching the Devour review about the 5080 Astro, and he was complaining about the noise. He's like, yeah, the GPU is performing well, but it's noisy. You know, the 2 extra fans, push-pull configuration is making a lot of noise. So yeah, coming from after watching that video, right after that, he comes with a 5080 Astra. And I said no. And I didn't even consider it, honestly. But maybe that was my only chance. In a year, probably. So yeah, over 2,000 euros is crazy. So you went for a used MSI RTX 3090 Supreme for 600 euros. Full box in great condition and PS5 Pro with disk drive for 880 euros. Well, PS5 Pro is very, very expensive. Yeah. I mean, not all the countries have the same price. Some countries are more expensive. Hoping for Nvidia to take revision of 5090 Founders Edition. They need to add these shunt resistors. It is such an engineering marvel with double flow through fans. Yeah, I think it's they don't have more space for that, man. It would take. They have no space for that. Like I watched that actually hardcore overclocking video about the 5090, and he was like, "Yeah, this shouldn't happen. It's a $2,000 GPU, and all the AIB partners should do something about it, like Asus did with the Astro, but Nvidia has no space on that PCB to do anything else. It is so crowded." And he said mainly the problem is that the connector is vertical. Is the here's the GPU, the connector is like this. It should have to be like this for them to be able to do something about it. I don't know about the design of the GPUs, but the thing is, I don't believe Nvidia can do anything about it. So yeah, I mean, you get a warranty. Have you played Indiana Jones? And I'm waiting for a 5090 to play Indiana Jones because it's forced ray tracing, so that's not gonna run very well on my PC. So I'm waiting for it. Think shifting connectors 90 degrees and having all connections feed a bus bar that connects to PCB can allow for uneven load balancing. Horizontal connector has all pins fed to PCB. Yeah, that's what he was saying. Like it is a problem the way they. I mean, but still, the 5090 design is just absolutely insane. How small that thing is, it's just crazy, and the performance, the temperatures, I think is incredible design. Like Jensen said. Oh, didn't think of BIOS. How do I make change? Oh, the BIOS. Some GPUs have a BIOS, a dual BIOS. So you have a switch, like a very small switch, on the GPU. So it says it is always labeled. There's one that says silent, and then the other one says performance or overclocking or something like that. So yeah, why they don't add 212 connectors, 12-volt power connectors behind each other for the 5090. I know it is rated for 660 watts and certified to 600. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, if the connector is capable of all that power, it shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be an issue. They just messed it up. Double flow through fans is nothing new. Yeah. Really, that GPU had double flow through before that. Oh, what GPU had that? I don't know. I don't know. They need to go back to 3090 Ti design. Yeah, I saw that video from actually Hardcore Overclocking. That 3090 Ti basically would not run. Like it had like, he showed three pairs of wires, and the 3090 Ti would run if one of the cables, one of the wires for each of the pairs was not working. So you would still have 3 wires at least. With a 5090, if you only have one wire working and the rest of them is cut, like it is open, it would still try to pull all the power from one wire. And that's why it would burn your house. So yeah, that's definitely an oversight. It should shut down. It should not work. Yeah, no 5090 yet. But I do have a wallpaper on my PC. I have a 5090 and a picture of Jensen with his new leather jacket. And I look at that wallpaper every day for inspiration. So it will happen. Don't worry about it. It will definitely happen. Yeah. Yeah, that's the video I was talking about. God bless you. Thank you very much. 38 is on strike because it's being replaced by the 59. Man. I mean, actually being, it could sense, balance the load. Yeah. Only good GPU that had good balancing was Astral. It is such a good layout, but they have room to place all the components. Also, you can repair that GPU compared to Founders 5090. Yeah, the Asus Astral also have the thermal pads instead of the thermal paste. So you probably never have to take it apart to repaste or replace the thermal pads because they're supposed to last longer. Now the temperatures would be better with thermal paste, but I much rather have the reliability. The temperatures are good anyway. So you're not gonna get more performance by lowering the temperatures with liquid metal, not that much anyway. So the reliability factor is also good. The thing is just way too expensive, man. Way too expensive. It's like $3,000 right now. It's, or more than that. It's just crazy. $2,800, that GPU was already super overpriced. But if that was the only GPU available the day I was waiting outside Micro Center, I would have bought it. I would got no problem buying that GPU that day. I would be so happy if I could get that Astral that day for $2,800. And now it is even more expensive. So I'm not buying that one. It's just way too much. Ariel, did you hear the rumor that the Trump administration is going to ban Nvidia products in the US due to Jensen's supposed involvement with the Chinese government? That would not be good for the US because the GPUs are so powerful that Nvidia was actually forced to do the 5090 D, like D for Dragon, which has less, I think is less AI stuff, basically. AI cores or tensor cores. I don't know exactly, I don't remember. But the thing is, these GPUs would be considered an advantage. So if the US cannot have the GPUs, that's a problem. It would put the US at a disadvantage. But yeah, political stuff, I don't really care too much about it. I was gonna practice to do a Donald Trump impersonation, because when I was a kid, I was very good at imitating people, and I can still do it. So that would be funny, but people get very opinionated with the political stuff. I don't really care, man. This country is amazing, regardless. So yeah, I'm happy either way. I don't care. Astral can only sense the load, unfortunately, but still a great feature. Yeah, the Astral would not turn off. It would give you a sign, hey, you might want to check your GPU because it might be burning right now. So you might want to do something about it. Maybe if you're not too busy playing your game, you should restart your PC and let it cool, or change the cable or something. Yeah, it is a software thing. It should turn off the card so it doesn't burn. Yeah, 5090 founder cards have only one shunt resistor instead of 6. Yeah, but they are $2,000. I would love to get the founders. It is so small, $2,000. It does have some electrical noise, some coil whine I've seen from the reviews. Their Bauer mentioned that. And that's very important. I mean, my 3080 has coil whine, and I don't like that at all. I would definitely, pay the extra to get rid of that, because it's very, very annoying, especially when you get the very high frame rates. It becomes a problem. In layman terms, how much better is a 5090 versus 5080? Like 20 or 30% better? No, not 30% better. Well, yeah, in some games. The thing is, yeah, most of the comparisons I watched was 5090 versus the 4090. So yeah, 4090 is better than 5080. So yeah, 30%. Yeah, 30% sounds good. But the thing is, I don't really care too much about exactly the game performance, because that difference might become a lot bigger in the future with games that are actually taking advantage of all the power that these GPUs have. And so, the older games that are not, leveraging all the AI power of these GPUs, I don't think they are a good comparison to compare the GPUs. See, I understand, yeah, you're comparing the raw performance without all the AI stuff, but the AI stuff really matters. So, yeah, the 5090 on paper is almost double than the 5080 on many things. Of course, you're not going to get double the performance in any cases, but that definitely matters. So if the performance difference just 20% in a game, I would not, based my decision on that. It's just almost a twice as good GPU. That's why it costs twice as much money. So yeah, I don't really care that much about older games comparison with that. I do know the 5090 is gonna be more than double the performance of my 3080 on every single game. That's for sure. More than double. Significantly more in some games. So that gives me, a good understanding of what I'm going to get. So yeah, that's what I've paid attention the most. The 59 is the best GPU, so it doesn't really matter. If you want the best, that's the only choice. We have 40, 50%. That's 60%. No, that's definitely not 60%, but 40, yeah, 40, 30, 40%, it is possible. But not 60. No, maybe one game, but it seems too much. Almost try to lower the GPU clock and memory frequencies to the minimum. That would be concerning. If that works, that means my GPU is kind of messed up. I had an issue with GPU memory on my 1080 Ti 3000 series has hot memory, but I have not overclocked the memory at all. And my GPU is running 61 Celsius. It is cold here. You see, I'm using a jacket. My PC is running very, very cold, very cool. As though the price bigger chip and it's not limited by VRAM like 5080. Yeah. So I mean, let me see if this finished already. Yeah, let me launch this. Yeah, man, the thing is I wanted to make a video today. I had many ideas and I'm having all these driver issues and I cannot make a video. You know, I'm like, if I have an issue with my PC, it is hard for me to, I should have done this before. It is hard for me to do anything, you know, I have to keep working on it until I figure it out. Yeah, it's still the price, not limited by VRAM. 59 is probably like 50% better than 5080. Yeah, best case scenario. Like raw specs, yeah, it is like 2x, but that doesn't scale linearly. But it could be. Yes, yeah, 30-40% makes sense. If you had to guess, how many nits is that light behind you? This one is 8,000 nits. They are max out. I think this is like 8,000 nits, maybe 6,000 to 8,000 nits. That's my guess. 5090 has major issues with screen crashing since tons of videos lately. It seems like it is the drivers, man. At 4K only, at 1440p and 1080p, it is not as big of an improvement. Yeah, you know, the better you know, the bigger the workflow, the better the GPU can kind of stretch, you know, can show the power. Like if you try 8K, like, you know, what Linus, I was watching the Linus video. So yes, if you try 8K or going beyond 4K with DSR and all of that, that's where you could see the biggest difference, especially with a much bigger VRAM. You can max out the textures and all that. Do you need an oxygen tank when your 5090 comes? I will have more energy than ever, more oxygen than ever. I will give you with the 5090 unboxing. I'm gonna give you the biggest intro yet. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna take the 5090 in completely with that intro. It's gonna be wild. I'll do it live. I'll do the unboxing live. Okay, well, Indiana Jones runs well. Yeah, I've seen it runs well, but the thing is, these games designed with ray tracing, they don't look great unless you max out the ray tracing. Like I was trying today, actually. I've been trying how many games I can actually get 360 frames. I was trying Sleeping Dogs, a 1440p, lower the settings down to normal, and it runs at 360 frames. It drops sometimes. And I go into a nightclub on that game, and there are reflections that don't go away. Like, you know, usually screen space reflections, when you don't have the objects on screen, you don't see them on the reflection. So ray tracing fixes that. Well, this game, without ray tracing, you can see the reflections even if you lower the camera down, so you're only looking at the reflection, you can see the objects on the reflection. So they do that with an old cube map or something like that. I don't know what they do exactly. 360 frames per second on a very old game. And I'm getting high quality reflections that don't go away, like with non-ray tracing reflections on these games. Nowadays, we get these games that support ray tracing, and you use the non-ray tracing reflections, and you see a bunch of issues with the occlusion. Looks terrible. What was the game I was trying with very ugly reflection? What was that? Was that like an Unreal Engine indie game? I don't remember. So we have these games that are supposed to use the latest and greatest, but if you don't use the ray tracing and the latest and greatest settings, they look like garbage because the developers don't work on the old rendering techniques that produce very good results with very good performance. So that is a way to force us to get the 5090 to update the PC and all that. I'm sure if they really care about making the game look as good as possible, they could. And you would not need a 5090. Of course, then you get a 5090, you can run a much higher frame rate. So I think the focus should be more in flawless performance and clarity. Image clarity, performance, HDR, color grading. That should be the focus. Because I don't care about DLSS performance with 4x frame generation to get 200 frames on a 5090. That doesn't make any sense. And that's what Nvidia is advertising. And that's what Nvidia is sponsoring sometimes with these developers. That's what they are trying to push. Because how can you get that experience? The only way to get that experience is buying the latest GPUs. And so it is just the way they have to force us to get the new GPUs. Why am I considering a 5090? Because I want to play Black Myth Wukong. That's my game. That's the kind of games that I really like. That game runs and looks like garbage. I've done like 2 or 3 rants about that game. It is just absolutely horrendous. That's on purpose. Of course, that's on purpose. They could definitely work on that game, even, I don't know, Unreal Engine 4, okay, not use any of the new tech and try to use the old rendering techniques and work very hard to optimize the game so you don't need a 5090. Do you think that is convenient? That's what Nvidia wants? Of course not. They want the game to run like garbage, so you have to buy their new GPUs. That's how it works. So it sucks, but you either get the new GPU and you play the game with a decent performance or you don't. And the thing is, the performance is not even good with a 5090. 70 frames per second at 4K, that's not good enough. I'm not getting a 5090 to play at 70 frames per second. So it really sucks what they do with these games, honestly, but it is what it is, man. It's just there's no... You want to play Black Myth Wukong? Yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, 5090 connector will cause instant fire. Change it immediately. Can you imagine someone using the 5090 for crypto mining or something like that? You have to, have the GPU running all day, every day, and you go to work or something. When you come back, your house is on fire. Man, that can actually happen with these issues. That can actually happen. I mean, these wooden houses that we have here in many, almost the entire US, the houses are made out of wood. Can you imagine that you come back from home and your house is on fire because of the 5090? Who is gonna pay for that? Nvidia should pay for that. What a mess. The other thing you can try is using a different backup GPU, which I don't have, man. That's why it is a very good idea to keep my 3080 once I get the 5090 just as a backup, because that's, you know, moment like this, that's the moment where I should definitely, you know, change the GPU and see if I still have the issue and all of that. But of course, the driver issues might happen with one GPU and not the other. That doesn't mean the GPU is broken. It might still be a problem with the drivers. Yeah, but I'm sure, I mean, not sure, but most likely I get a 5090, reinstall the drivers or whatever, and I have no issues. But then that doesn't mean my 3080 is broken. It was an issue with the drivers, because with the older drivers, that's not happening. So then it's the drivers, it's not the GPU. I have a new ATX 3.1 PSU, 1300 watts, platinum, with a 12 volts, 2x6 connector for my 5090. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna get, something similar to that. Trying my best, but if it melts, there's a warranty, yeah, of course. And I'm a YouTuber. If my 5090 melts, yeah, I'm gonna be loud about it. You bet. I'm gonna go crazy, ballistic. I'm gonna go, if my 5090, after all this time, all the effort, I finally get a 5090 and it melts my PC. I mean, Gamers Nexus will know about it. And I'll tell you that much. So yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be, yeah, I might use one of these cameras for that they use for the cars, or like a surveillance. I don't know how to pronounce that right now. I'll get one of those cameras 24/7, looking at my 5090 and recording everything to see if I can capture the moment when it actually melts, to get it in real time. Okay, that would be good for the channel, that's for sure. So it's not gonna be a big deal. I'll get a replacement, I'll get more views. You know, Gamers Nexus is gonna buy my GPU, we get famous. I mean, it's a win-win situation. So as long as the house doesn't burn down, yeah, we're good. So not a big deal. But yeah, the situation, yeah, that's the thing, man. PC is not to play only. You have to understand that. I mean, PC gaming, you can play a little bit, but most of the time you're gonna be fixing something. That's just the way it works. It's just how it is. I hope you're doing well. Lots of micro centers got the 5090 Astral. Why haven't you got one yet? Well, my micro center had 4 5090s, okay? 4. And I was number 22. And the 4 5090s that they had was the Gigabyte Astral Ice. So yeah, it was a good one. But yeah, only 4 of them, which is, I mean, it's kind of insane. You launch a new product, you have 4. You know, this, yeah, they had 79 5080s though. I could have easily buy a 5080, and they did have a lot of 5080 models, a lot of them. I actually recorded that on the live stream. You could see the manager, you know, he had a paper with all the 5080s, and he was like, okay, he was one by one, he was asking, okay, we have the 5080 Astral, we have the Gigabyte OC, we have, actually, they didn't have any Gigabyte 5080s, actually, which is weird. That was the only 5090 that they had, but 5080, no gigabytes. But it was like, you know, showing you all the 5080 models that they had one by one. And people were like, which 5080 should I get? And 100 people behind them. And, bro, you should know at this point. You waited all night. So yeah, I understand. People were taking their sweet time because they didn't know which one was gonna be available. So at that moment, they had to decide. They couldn't say, "Okay, can I watch a review before I tell you? Let me watch this Gamers Nexus review or their Bauer." So yeah, it was a cool moment, definitely memorable day. But yeah, I couldn't get my 5090. I stopped caring for 5080 and started playing old games with my PC. When it arrives, it arrives. Well, actually, let me tell you, when I get a 5090, I will also try the old games because I want to get 360 frames per second. Of course, CPU is going to be a problem. But with the 50 series, we would have the MFG on the Nvidia control panel or the new Nvidia app. So with MFG, I should be able to get 360 hertz on every single game, even if I am CPU bound. And my CPU is pretty good. I mean, it has to be a very poorly optimized game for my CPU to not reach 120 frames. So with MFG, it shouldn't be a problem to get up to 360. So yeah, the issues. Yeah, issue with the 5090s, they messed up the design. Probably won't change anything in my 5080 since it's gonna black screen unless Nvidia does something about it. They are extremely silent. I'm sure they know about it. 5090 is 52% faster than 5080 according to Tech Power Up. Well, if you look at the benchmarks, it's actually very strange to get that much more performance. But yeah, on paper, 5090 on paper is like a lot faster than 5080. Well, twice the performance will be 100%. So yeah, 52% still wouldn't be a linear improvement. But yeah, 52% is a massive difference. I haven't seen that difference across multiple games. Yeah. Just logging. But didn't you have blue screens before cleaning your PC? Yeah. It is the drivers because as soon as I roll back the drivers, the blue screen issue was fixed. So it is the drivers. With the old drivers, I have no issues with blue screens. So it has to be the drivers. Not yet. 5090 for rich people. You need at least a few houses, otherwise you could become homeless. Yeah, I'm not rich. I do have to say it is very nice to have the YouTube channel because YouTube channel is not gonna pay for the 5090. Like last year, for example, I bought these two QD OLEDs and I was negative. Okay, last year I didn't make any money on YouTube. This year we're doing a lot better. Thank you very much for your support. Actually, I think we have a super chat here from George. Man, thank you very much, man. You're way too generous. Thank you very much. You've been donating a lot. Good choice not getting the 5080. It is 5090 or bust. Yeah, my mind is set to 5090. That's what I'm gonna get. So thank you very much. Yeah, the channel is doing great. I do have to say it is great to have the YouTube channel because it definitely helps. Hopefully this year we don't end up negative. We're doing a lot better with the YouTube channel. But I'm not rich. But the thing is, here in the US, if you really want something, you can work, you can save the money, and you can buy it. What I would not recommend anyone is to buy a 5090, with a credit card and have to do like 10 payments and a year of debt or something like that. I don't think that makes any sense, man. Save the money, work hard, and give all your money to Nvidia. That's how it works. So yeah, it is possible, man. You don't have to be rich. Here in the US, I think, aside from buying a house is a lot more complicated to save the money to buy a house That's a lot of money. I mean, 500 to get a house is like $400,000 minimum here where I am. Yeah, I don't see myself saving $400,000 and then buying a house. So yeah, you would have to, you know, get the loan and all of that. But aside from that, even a car you can save the money and buy the car. So that's what I like to do. I don't like to be in debt. See? So I work hard, save the money, buy the 59. That's what I did. So we have another super chat. Well, thank you very much. A super chat from No Man 47. Thank you very much, brother. That is CZK. Is that from Czechoslovakia? Is that a Czech currency? So he's saying, oh, you didn't have any comments on that. Well, let me know if you have any comments. Thank you very much for the super chat. Well, we have a lot of comments. I always try to read all the comments, but it's very difficult. Unreal Engine 5 has been disappointment overall. Engine needs to be heavily modified to be performant. Actually, we're gonna have another live stream with Hybrid. He's a developer. He actually developed a new game. So I'm not sure if he can share more details before the game comes out this year. But I'm going to ask him to see if he can share a little bit more about game development and with Unreal Engine, a project, changing stuff, moving. I would like to see how easy it is to kill the performance of a game. Like do a live stream and show, okay, let me show you what a good performance looks like and optimization, what good optimization looks like. And let me show you how easy it is to mess that up. So because a lot of people think, oh, my PC is obsolete because this game is running like crap. It is actually very easy to make a game run like crap. I'm not a developer, but I can understand why would that be the case. So yeah, this game's running like garbage. It is on purpose. So you have to buy the new GPU. So I'll be very interesting. So we're gonna do more live streams with Hybrid. I think next week we're gonna do it together with Gaming Tech. So if he wants to join every time, we can do it. If he wants to do, his separate live stream with Adam, and I can do a separate live stream with Hybrid, whatever works. But that's gonna be very interesting. We're gonna talk about this kind of stuff. I do have a comment. It's just sticker. Thanks for the content. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. So you're getting a 9800X 3D from 5700X 3D. I need that 20-40% extra performance. That's good. That's going from 49 to 5090. Yeah, that makes sense. Now here's the thing. This never ends. I want to get the 5090. After that, you know what's coming. Oh, now my CPU is not fast enough. Now we need to get the 9800X 3D and new motherboard and faster RAM, and it never ends. I know that's coming. It's just the law. It's just the way it works. Now I'm going to ask for help. Now that I have the MSI contact, I'm gonna be like, hey, can we do maybe a sponsor video, because I cannot do a review, like a comprehensive review of a motherboard. Yeah, I've never done that. What can I say? Hey, look at this motherboard. It looks amazing. It has a USB-C output and Wi-Fi, and you should buy it. I mean, that's gonna be better a sponsor video or something. But whatever it is, I need some help. See if I can get that new CPU, because after buying the 5090, I'm out. I have no more money remaining. So let's see if MSI can help us with that and send us a motherboard, maybe even the power supply. I'm gonna see if we can do that. Maybe a sponsor video or something. That'll be great. And I'm gonna make it very clear. Hey, if it's a sponsored video, it's gonna say sponsored, and I'm just gonna be very positive and be happy about it. Okay, because I'm getting it for free. They're paying me even. I'm doing a sponsored video about some headphones, so that's going to be very clear. This video is sponsored. Okay, they're actually gonna pay me for it, which is great. We need that support because 59 is very expensive, and yeah, we definitely need some help. Like I said the other day, I spent 5090 money on at the dentist, not for myself, for my family. Okay, it was $2,850 to take out 3 teeth. Okay, it was a surgery. It was a little bit complicated procedure, but still very, very expensive. Okay, so that hurt because I was like, man, there it goes, my 5090. But I'm like, no, I'm still gonna buy the 5090. Okay, I still want it. I'm not gonna let this be a low blow for my happiness. Okay, I still want and deserve that 5090, so I'm still gonna buy it. But yeah, it was hard. So I definitely need some support. If I can do more sponsored videos, I'm gonna have to. And I have turned down a lot of sponsored videos, like companies that don't have anything to do with what I talk about. I don't want to do that because who cares? I mean, a company that's reaching out to promote a product that has absolutely nothing to do with gaming or technology or computers or displays or monitors. I'm like, I don't feel like it, but I might have to. I might have to do some of that too, to see if we can get the $10,000 command center. If we can put together the $10,000 command center. I play Ark Survival. Oh man, that's bad. That game is really bad when it comes to the performance. My God, on Epic, no clouds, 5120 by 1440 or 100 frames. Really? With no clouds. Okay, so the clouds are the performance killer. Yeah, but that game has frame generation by default, and they don't even tell you that. Which is crazy. Yeah, that game runs like garbage. It's one of the worst when it comes to performance. Really, really bad. Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds, I mean, absolute garbage. I mean, why would that game run bad? That's not even open world. It's crazy. You're alone in the desert, nothing around you, and the performance is trash. I just don't understand that. That engine seems like it doesn't work for open world for sure. Windows can be to blame too. Yeah, I tried to. Let me check the Windows update. I have the Windows update up to date. So yeah, I don't think that's the issue. Yeah, right now I'm up to date. I'm gonna check for updates, but I don't think that's gonna be the problem right now. But yeah, the only thing I have remaining is to just reinstall Windows again. I use a 3080 with a 5700X3D for the living room. Yeah, that's almost what I have. I have the 5800X3D. Windows 11 for new games. Windows 10 for all games like Assassin's Creed, Black Flag. Yeah, unfortunately, that game. Actually, I installed that game recently. It was locked to 60 FPS. So yeah, probably there's a mod to unlock the frame rate. But yeah, optimization, man, is so important. And actually, Kingdom Come Deliverance, runs fast. Like you can get over 100 frames, but it is very difficult to get like 200 frames. Very, very difficult. So it runs well. It doesn't stutter, but it's very, very hard for me to, even if I lower the resolution, it's very hard to run very, very fast. I was hoping, because everyone was talking about how good Kingdom Come Deliverance optimization was, I was hoping to be able to run that game over 200 frames if I lower the settings. And of course, if I make it look like a potato, yeah, but not with good enough quality. Phones, laptop, monitors, Delta 2 has a Delta E of 2, and TV is such a picture accuracy. Yeah, phones are pretty good sometimes when it comes to calibration. Yeah, I kind of need that 9800X3D since performance DLSS is rendering at 1080p. Yeah. Here's the thing. I want to get. Hopefully, we get the CRT simulation soon, so I can actually use this 360 hertz monitor for every single game to get the clarity. Of course, I prefer my TV. There's no question about that. A bigger screen is better, but I also like a lot the motion. So this monitor really looks amazing in motion, but 360 FPS is impossible. So for every single game. So once we have the CRT simulation, it really will make all the high refresh rate monitors completely usable all the time for every single game. So I am really looking forward to the 500 hertz QD OLED monitor coming out this year. And I already asked MSI for it. And let me tell you, I don't want to, like, now that I have the MSI contact, I don't want to be like, hey, send me this and send me that. I am like saving my bullets, okay? This is the monitor that I want. So my bullet was, hey, I'm telling you from now, I'm not going to ask you for anything else. I want the 500 hertz QD OLED monitor. Really bad, okay? So I'm telling you right now, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. So I am saving all my bullets for that monitor. I'm like, yes, I want this. And the reason why I want that monitor so bad is because I hope CRT simulation will happen so I can actually see that motion on every single game. Otherwise, 500 FPS is almost impossible. Even with frame generation, it's just gonna be also so difficult to get up to 500 frames per second on every single game. Yeah, maybe in Valorant or something like that with frame gen. I don't even know if Valorant has that. One of these games that run very fast and they also have frame gen. Yeah, maybe you can get 500 FPS. But the thing is, yeah, 500 hertz QD OLED is gonna be absolutely insane. But if you cannot get 500 frames per second on any game, then it is kind of pointless because you cannot see it. So my excitement comes from that. I hope that the CRT simulation is available. Yeah, that's the monitor I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, 9800X3D, faster CPU. I'm definitely going to need that if I want to even, hope to get over 360 frames, which is already very, very difficult. It's just extremely demanding. So yeah, to me, if any game on the next 7 years doesn't get good performance at 5090, then it is the game. Okay. I mean, right now, even with my 3080, I know how good my 3080 can look. So, for example, you try Monster Hunter, and I'm getting, 70 frames or less than 60 because of a CPU bound or whatever. Then I compare that with, Ghost of Tsushima or any game really that runs well and looks better, then it's the game. It's not my CPU. It's not my GPU. So that's, I mean, obviously 5090 should crush every single game, even GTA 6. And if it doesn't, then it's the game. Yeah, it's not worth playing a game that doesn't run well. That's why I have not played a Black Myth Wukong yet. Do you have problems with the drivers from January? So here's the thing. So I have the list here. So the drivers that work for me right now, and I only have one issue with it, are from December 10. No, December 5. Those are the studio drivers. The game ready drivers from December 5. The drivers 56636. So I have no blue screens with these drivers. The only issue that I have is the flickering. For some reason, it's flickering at like at 360. It's flickering, and even beyond 240, it's flickering. Even if the frame rate is perfect, even if I have VRR off, for some reason the monitor is flickering. So that's in the CRT simulation with RetroArch at 360 is flickering. So there's something wrong with it. But I get no crashes though. But after that, the drivers 572.16 that was released in January 30. So that one, I clean my PC because of that, because of these drivers. A lot of crashes. And the newest, which is February 13, 572.42, I'm getting even more crashes with these ones actually. So yeah, that's the situation. I want to upgrade for 6 years unless I get a 2x pay raise. Maybe get another job. See? Get another job, an extra income, and you can get your... I work a lot, by the way. I work almost every day, the entire day. Good thing is that my jobs are very nice. Like, for example, I teach guitar. I would do that for free. Okay, I like it. But that's not even working for me. So sometimes I spend the whole Saturday, almost the entire day, teaching guitar. You know, that's what a life. That's a job for me. That is awesome. Yeah, I really like it. So I try to have jobs like that. Okay, YouTube, I consider this a job already because I'm making money with it. It is, I like it. Of course, maybe I would not feel like I have to upload every single day, but I like it. I like to upload the videos and you know, voice my opinion and have a voice. The bigger your channel, the bigger your platform, the louder your voice becomes. And I really enjoy that. So when I have something to say, to have a YouTube channel, to make a video, I really enjoy that. And also, one of the things that I am really looking forward to is once we grow more and I have contact with more of these companies and they listen to help improve their products, to fix issues and add features and all of that. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Because, for example, yeah, MSI sent me this monitor, but right now I don't have yet. I'm asking for it already. I don't have yet that contact where I can share my feedback about this monitor. If I found an issue or something like that. So for example, this flickering issue is the Nvidia drivers, but why is the monitor flickering if VRR is off? That is weird. But why is that happening? Is that an issue with DSC? Or I don't know. Why why is the monitor flickering? Even if the drivers have an issue, because the the refresh rate should be exactly the same. If the frame rate drops, you get screen tearing, but the monitor should be refreshing all the 360 per second. So I don't know why would that happen. So I would like to have a contact that is more of a like an engineer or someone that directly works in creating these monitors to ask about it, things like that. And mainly I would like to ask them to add the CRT simulation at a hardware level, especially on that 500 hertz monitor. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine MSI releases that 500 hertz QD OLED and it comes already with the CRT simulation and it works at 60, 70, 80, many different FPS targets, and you have settings to get it more clear or brighter depending on the content. And then the monitor, because it is at a hardware level, the monitor would be even brighter when using the CRT simulation, because if you only have to, most of the screen is going to be dark, so it's only going to be brighter on a small section that is a sixth of the entire screen. So 1 divided by 6 will be the brightest section. Then that can be a lot brighter because it's less than 20% screen percent, the percentage. So the ABL should not affect that as much as if you just do it software level. So they could actually decide to release more brightness for the CRT simulation, because also when you do the flickering, you reduce the chance of burning. So I would love to have a contact that is very high end in the company that actually makes those decisions to ask for it, because I think it would be amazing. The whole point of 500 hertz and 500 FPS, a lot of people are going to say, oh, that makes no sense because I cannot play any game at 500 frames per second. If they have that feature, it will be a no-brainer. If this new MSI 500 hertz QD OLED monitor comes with a CRT simulation at a hardware level, I would literally tell everyone, run and buy this monitor. It's that simple. You need to have this monitor in your life. That's how good that would be. And I think they could sell that for all the the esports players. It would be just amazing. So yeah, I am looking forward to the day where I actually have, even if a very small influence, to help basically get what I want. But it's just but I think it would be better for everyone to have something like that. So yeah, looking forward for it. 1080p 144, you can get or nowadays with these games. But the thing is, if you already have the monitor, yeah, use the monitor. But I would not build a gaming PC around the 1080p 144 hertz monitor, because now we have 1440p monitors that are very cheap. So if you spend like $1,000 on a PC, you don't want to use that monitor. And if you spend like $600 on a PC, you cannot play any games. So it's like a tough. I would say go to a used market. If you have that monitor already and you don't want to break the bank, go to a used market, and then get a 2070 or something like that. Or get something new, or get a 4060. 4060. I think that's gonna be expensive even on the used market. So get like a 3070. But yeah, 1080p 144 hertz on an LCD monitor. that would be very, very cheap. I mean, right now I have this IPS 1440p monitor. I bought it for $100 or $120 like 2 years ago in the used market. Right now you can get a much better display for not a lot of money. So yeah, I've learned that dentists are very expensive in the US, man. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. When they show me that bill, I'm like, holy. Well, actually, they show me the bill before because you have to pay before they do anything. And actually, I pay extra for, better, like there was like an oxygen thing, not an oxygen, like a gas, so the patient feels less pain, something that they have to fine tune. So I pay extra to do the best I could, of course. When you're taking care of your family, you're not gonna be like, oh no, that's more expensive. No, let's do the cheapest one. Once you are there, you're going all in. So, but yeah, it was a 5090, definitely 5090 money I paid for that. Sponsors nowadays be like, check out these new condoms. It can protect your GPU if you fill it with water. Yeah, so I mean, I'll try my best, but a sponsor video is a sponsor. I mean, it's like a commercial, really. Like, I'm not gonna tell you anything bad about the product. Like, it is a sponsor video. They are paying me to talk good about it. Of course, I'm gonna try to get something that it is good. So before I agree to the sponsor product, I actually search for some reviews, and the reviews are good. Now, if I try the product and it is not perfect or it has some issues, and if it is broken, I would be like, okay, I'm not gonna make it a sponsor video if the product has issues, but it shouldn't because the reviews are good. So yeah, I would just turn down. I would say, okay, I'm not doing any video. Don't pay me anything. I'm sending you this back because I'm not going to sponsor something that doesn't work. It's broken. But if I don't like the color or something minor like that, I'm not gonna say that on the video because they're paying me for it. It's a sponsor video. So, I'm gonna tell you what I like. So that's different. That's not a review. That is not a review. It's a sponsor video. It's something completely different. But yeah, for reviews, and for example, when I get the next monitor, I'm gonna tell you all about it. The same I did with this MSI monitor. All the issues, everything I see, the good, the bad, I'm gonna tell you all about it. Talking about the new ones. 3060 runs everything at Ultra 60 or more in 1080p. I guess the 3070 is a sweet spot. Yeah, 3070 should be very good for it. Here to say, if you want to help someone become a doctor, surgeon, if you want to make money, become a dentist. Oh yeah, I mean the clinic. It was like a palace. Everything was wood. Like, when you go in, that's they make a lot of money basically. And the one that I visit had 4.9 reviews. Okay, so, and a lot of reviews. So, and it was like a private clinic. The name of the dentist was the name of the clinic. So I'm like, okay, when it comes to my family, I want to give them the absolute best I can. So, and it's expensive everywhere. So I much rather get the best. So that's why. But probably if I go somewhere else, it will be cheaper, but not that much. So Windows Update will probably make it worse. Yeah. Oh, so we've been over 2 hours. Let me read the final comments and then we'll finish the stream. Yeah, man, I wanted to make a lot of videos today for the week because I did have time today. But having issues with the PC, I am focused on fixing the issue, not on making the video. So, but I wanted to cover the CRT simulation. I want to make a video explaining motion clarity and the blur busters law, now easier and clearer than ever. I wanted to make that video short and very clear to see if we could, increase awareness about it and more people understand motion clarity. And of course, now that I have a 360 hertz monitor, I can have a better opinion when it comes to, do we need 360 frames per second? Yeah, I think so. I think so. It looks amazing. So I think we actually need that. And I definitely will have a better perspective once I have the 5090, so I can see if frame generation is actually, it makes sense. It's actually the way to go, the future, for very high refresh rate. So I have many ideas for today. We have some HDR stuff to cover too. It has been a while since I covered HDR. So yeah, but I have these issues. So yeah, let's see if I can make a video tomorrow. I stopped updating Windows last year. I'm on Windows 10, but support is gonna end in October 2025. Wow, I didn't know that. So Windows Cast is the program that lets you cast normal Windows apps into RetroArch. Huh. So can we cast a game? Can we cast a game? Let me screenshot this. Huh. Can we do it? Can we cast a game? And then so you're playing the game in the background, borderless, or even a small window, and then you're looking at it in RetroArch, or maybe on a second monitor. Can we do that? Huh. Can we do that right now? Tell me more about it. Can we do that? No way. No way. So if I have the game in borderless, I can use that app to cast the game to RetroArch and then use the CRT simulation on RetroArch? Did you try that? Oh man, I would go crazy if I can do that. That would be the coolest video ever. If I can tell everyone, you can try the CRT simulation right now, immediately, in all the games. Oh man, that would be amazing. That would be insane. Have you tried that with a game running? Have you tried the CRT simulation on RetroArch? Try yourself with it. I tried it a long time ago, but I remember it once you talk about it. Huh. Man, I'm gonna try that right now when I finish the stream. That'll be insane. If I can get that working right now, woo! You can also use DLSS 4 right now on any GPU using DLSS Swapper, a public free software that works in almost all games. Yeah, the thing with the DLSS Swapper is that you are not sure if it is actually using the transformer model. It might be using the latest DLSS version available, but I like more the way I share, because once you use the the Nvidia profile inspector profile. Once you force the DLSS preset, the thing is you don't have the preset K, which is the latest. If you use the Nvidia app instead, but still the preset J looks very, very good. So if you force it over with it globally with the Nvidia inspector profile, then the only thing you have to do is just to replace the DLSS files. But even better than that is to use the latest drivers. Then search for the DLSS files with the transformer model, the ones that the Nvidia app would actually use, but it doesn't replace the in-game DLSS files, but it's actually using it. So what you can do is you can get those files, rename them, and change the extension, and then just have them, and then it's just replacing it for every single game. I saw that on a video from Vox, VOX, where he covered all the ways to do this. Very good video, very extensive. Like, I mean, there are so many ways to do this. So I think that might be the easiest way. So once you have those files, just replacing them on every single game, and it just works. That would be the best and easiest way. So I'll give that one a try. I have not done that. So let's finish the live stream. I have to go and take a piece. Yeah, I tried the DDU drivers many times. Windows Cast is the problem that lets you cast normal Windows apps into RetroArch. Okay, I'll try that. I'll definitely try that. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you very much. I hope I can make a video today. Hopefully we can figure out the issues. I'm gonna try the Nvidia cleaner, and yeah, I'll try to figure it out. Thanks everyone. You guys take care and have a good one. Have a good night, and hopefully I can make a video today or tomorrow.